Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the year-long rolling project pan called the TeamProjectPan, set up by Kat and Hailey, and it's a product from every category. You use it up or hit a goal and roll in something new, and every quarter we do a refresh. So I don't know if I said it already, but Kat and Hailey from the Beauty News set up this project, and I'll link their details down below. But we have some empties this time again. I've used over 70, I think we're at 70 products now in this project, and there hasn't been a month between last update and this update for me, but I just wanted to get back on the right schedule. So we're going to do a little bit of a refresh since it's that time, and I'll just get into it. So we'll start with the empties, progress, stuff we're rolling in and whatnot. So I finally finished this lip liner from NYX. It was it was called Nude Beige. I actually have two of these, this and another one. So this one is all gone now, and I would repurchase it. It's, for me, I found it similar enough to the MAC formula. Now I know MAC have several different types of formulas, but it wasn't really dry or really creamy, but it was perfect and it was cruelty free. So I would buy it again. I actually have another one because it was just a nice shade of not too nude and not too brown for my skin tone and lip color. The next empty is a eyeliner. There it is. It is the Rimmel, come on, a little focus. It was the Rimmel eyeliner in black, and it was not good in my opinion, because I put it in the waterline and it will come up kind of grey rather than black. It was really dry and it kind of disappeared extremely quickly. Now I must have watery eye, what would you call that, a waterline or something, because nothing seems to stay in there, but this really did not stay in there, and it actually took quite a while to use, but it's all gone now, and I'm really glad about that, because I want one black eyeliner in my collection that's good, and I want one brown, and I want one nude, and then I'm thinking about some colors. So I have two black eyeliners and now I only have one. The next thing I finished, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but it's the Kate Moss Sublime Body Lotion. There's 150 mils in the thing, and I didn't really like it, to be quite honest with you. Let me just, yeah, that's the one. Maybe I did mention it before, but it doesn't smell like, it smells a little bit, do you know those kits you get as a teenager? It smells like that, and there's not a thing wrong with it, but now there's other stuff that I have that I prefer. And I don't, like, I'm glad I used it up before it was dead, because it expires within 24 months, and I got it for Christmas last year off my uncle. So it is the Soap and Glory Sugar Crush body spray. There was 45 mils in it, and it is the last one that I got. So I don't know if you've seen my other video in this project, but I got perhaps between 7 and 10 of these in the full size, which I think is 100 mils, at Christmas for my mum and my dad in a set, and I've been using them back to back in work, and they're actually really handy in work, because when I switched to perfume it felt like a little bit strong to spray on the floor in an open floor plan, but this was kind of like misty and it wasn't too heavy in my opinion. So I finished this, so that means it has taken me 10 months to use them all. I'll count at the end of the year, you'll see it all, and we'll count, but that's that gone as well. Finished a perfume. It is called Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. There was 30 mils in this. It actually looks kind of like a little bit of a big bottle for 30 mils, isn't it? I use this in work as well. This is how I know I prefer the Misty effect with the other one. It's nice, but it's not something that I've repurchased. It's a bit more elegant, a bit more mature, it appears, of a scent, but it's not a scent that I am I'm drawn to. So I actually forgot to mention this in my last update. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of dibs. I was quite sick the last time. I don't think I knew what the hell was going on. The Sleek Contour Kit, I was working on one of the contour shades in here to finish up. If I have a picture, I will insert it on the screen. There was not that much left. And here we are. It was, where is it? It was this shade. So now I have all 3 shades finished, and I just have the 3 concealer / highlighting shades left. I don't know if I've mentioned it was a cream product. I want to finish this whole kit. It was $12.99 in total, and by the end of next year I want this gone. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the progress and then the stuff I'm bringing in, okay? The Sleek Highlighting Palette in Solstice. So I finished the cream shade, you can probably see it on the screen, and I finished one highlighting shade which left an orange shade and a purple shade. And if you've seen my Roulette Pan collab, I'm working on like 1 billion highlighters right now. So I'm surprised there's been any progress. I have expanded the pans, I would say, slightly in the orange shade. I've not worked on the purple shade, as I said. I'm working on a lot of other things. But here's, oops, I beg your pardon. I am sorry. This is where I am on the highlighter. I'm predominantly working on this orange. I have a tendency to work on one thing at a time. So again, this is going to be panned by the end of next year also. I refuse to give up on this because I've invested so much time. It's quite thin. I don't know if you can see, but it's quite thin around the edges. I was trying to hit side pan there, but that's where we are on that. I imagine, now I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going to assume I'll have the orange shade finished by Christmas, please God. Not the purple shade for some reason, but that would be a good time of year to leave the purple. If I'll swatch it for you. Oh, I was swatching my hand when I was doing my makeup. Do you like it? It's my first time using a glitter, I think, as an adult. And, well, I'm pretty happy with it. I am not brilliant at this, but I enjoy it. So I'm swatching the orange and I'm swatching the purple. Now this, for me, it accentuates the texture on my face, okay? A lot of people like this. Look, it's really pretty. Now, when I go to edit videos, the lighting does not correlate to the lighting at this present moment in time. I don't know why. But this is the orange shade, this is the purple shade. And it's absolutely stunning. But this seems to accentuate the texture on my face. I imagine if you have a smoother face than mine, you'd be grand. A load of people love it. It's really affordable. It has a weird... It's not a buttery formula, it's quite, and chalky's not the right word, but kind of stiff, like a little bit gritty. Like you feel like sandpaper-ish. I'm really bad at describing that, but it doesn't feel like normal highlighters that I'm used to. It's such a nice color. I don't have it on today. I have it on my brow bone because I don't feel like I have too much like texture there. But I love the color, just don't like the formula, and I love the price. I think I'm just gonna nip in and out. You see this little yolk? It's still here. 10 months of using this consistently, and bearing in mind the markings keep running off. But when I started this project, it was halfway done. There's 100 mils in it. It is the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. I don't know if everyone is aware of this, but Nikki's tutorial said that this would be an excellent primer because there was glycerin in it. Back away and it blew up. It actually, for me, does hold my makeup on. I would say I wear makeup on a work day for between 7 till 7. 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. is 12 hours. So yeah, so about 13 hours a day I wear makeup when I do put it on. I have a 4-hour commute in total, 2 hours each way, and I do a lot of running between it. For me, I would be sweating, my hair and everything would be sweating. And I work in an open floor plan, so it's kind of air-con sticky, so, and I have oily skin, so you'd imagine the thing would slide off. This actually does, for me, hold my makeup on. It doesn't, it does depend on the foundation, but it does help with stuff separating. It does keep my face on. I have one other primer in my collection, and I probably will get this again, except it's real clunky to bring to work. But I paid about €3 for it. 3 something, it was on offer. I think it's normally 6 something. Versus however much you spend on a primer now, what, like 30 quid? And this worked half the price, lasted such a long time. So I would get it again. Now, there's barely anything left in it. There's not enough to make a marking. It's like literally the end of the thing. Like when I pour, look how long it takes. Oh God, be careful. Be careful! Oh, maybe it is all gone. Oh no, I can see there's a little bit just gathering here. I'm going to do my 2 measuring products because I have the little notebook here. So which one will we start with? This eyebrow pencil, the Catrice eyebrow pencil. I think it's in the shade Casanova. I could be wrong. I've been using this pencil also for the whole year. The Benefit, you know the skinny pencil by Benefit, is it the Cabral? That pencil I ran through pretty quickly. Most eyebrow pencils I run through pretty quickly. The only problem with this pencil for me is the tip, okay? The color actually, I think, matches, in my opinion, pretty well, but sure, what do I know? But I'm happy with it. 10 months, and we're still down to here. And bear in mind, if you ever see my first video in this series, like I'm sure I'll have a playlist link down below. This pencil didn't look much bigger than this. Well, I can show you, right? Didn't look much bigger than this. Okay, maybe it did. I lied again. God, I'm pathological. I always wondered how people marked on paper, and now I'm wondering, are those people right-handed? Anyway, I'm left-handed. So here's where it is now. As I said, it hasn't been, okay, you can see that I'm telling the truth, and now I can pull it away, okay? So there hasn't been a full month between these two lines. I'd say the 22nd of this month would be a month. And today is the 8th, okay? So this is the Cabral in the shade 2. So I use this to outline, probably not a great job, and I use the pencil to fill in, and then I go over it with a powder. I love this because this little teeny tiny manky brush is handy for work, because I do my makeup at my desk in a very limited amount of time. I know I panned this before, a full one before, it takes over a year for my little brow to get through this by using it exclusively. So Porrick got this for me for Christmas. There, the one gone. Okay, and Shajini Mac, you can't see a thing. Well, it's getting lower. I try to work around the sides versus just the middle, because the last time I worked down the middle, I wasn't panning it, but I just worked down the middle. And so I hit the jar, and then all of the outside went rock solid. So I had to use Duraline to mix it up. So Duraline worked the first time, then it dried up again, and I used the, you know, the setting spray from MAC, because I didn't have anything else, and that actually kind of did the job. But yeah, so I'm working down the side so I don't have that problem again. The last measuring product, and then we're on to the powdery bits and pieces, is this. I think this is the third one of these that we're on now. So here we are. It's my lip balm. I keep saying in these videos that I got it in Aldi, and I don't know why. I got it in Lidl. You get 3 of them in a set, and I just keep using them before I put my makeup on. It does the job. Doesn't do much if you have really chapped lips, but it does. How do I do this? Okay, so I can't seem to hold this up the right way, but there it is. I went from here down to here, okay? I fly through these things. Well, I don't. It takes me about 2 to 3 months, and I just keep using them and keep buying them. I don't have a problem with lip balms. This is just a necessity, so this is fine. It's a number 7 blush in Soft Damson. So the last time you can see on the screen where I was at, and it was slow moving, and I wasn't working on it very much because I was focusing on that Tarte blush that just will never end. I was getting sick of the Tarte blush, and it's a shade that I actually really like, so I don't want to dislike it for the sake of finishing it. So I worked back on that one. So this, since the 22nd, here is where it is now. I think I made huge progress. I always see people on YouTube saying since they've repressed it, it's now more powdery, and that has never until now been the case for me. It was always pressed really tightly, whatever way I did it. But this time, it's really kind of buttery, actually. It's quite nice. Or something similar. Here it is built up, but you can fluff it out, but it seems to kind of go with everything. So, sorry for looking down. Where is it? So I went from 22 grams to 20 grams. So since the 22nd to the 8th, 22nd of last month to the 8th of this month, I've gone down 2 grams. Just gonna pull these two up really quickly. Mascara, it's the Thick and Fast by Soap and Glory. It takes 6 months for these things, it says on the packaging. This particular one is 6 months till expiry, so I'm not worried about this. I'm actually happy enough with how dry it is right now. It still transfers up on my lids sometimes. It's quite good for lengthening, it's quite good for voluming. Voluming, is that a word? Voluming. But it's really hard to take off. How do you take off mascara without pulling out your own lashes? Because just pretend I take my makeup off tonight, right? If I don't have a shower tonight and I go to put on new makeup tomorrow, it doesn't work as well on my eyelashes tomorrow as they do fresh out of shower, like fresh clean ones. I like it, but I've used 2 of these back to back now, so I'm happy enough to use something else afterwards. I used to be out of control on mascaras, and I worked it down over 3 years, so I now have this one and a sample. I will only let myself have 1 mascara at a time, and I'm happy enough with that. It's one of a few areas in my collection that actually is curated. The rest is just out of control, in my opinion. Next is this. Look at this. It is the Benefit Age Rewind, right? It's not going anywhere, but it's starting to come to a point where I need to twist it. Now, it hasn't been a long time, I keep saying this, but it was known, I couldn't make a new marking, okay? but you can see it's just so slightly under there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it by the end of the year. I don't know. Like, I use quite a bit of it under my eye, I would have thought, but I only use it under my eye. It doesn't do much for coverage. It does a little bit for brightening. I know a lot of people don't like the sponge, and I understand why. I do. It just makes it easier for me in work not to be squeezing things about. But yeah, it's taken a while to use. It's not cruelty free, so I don't think I'll get it again, even though, you know, I'm happy enough with it because it's not too thick, it's not heavy, it doesn't do too much coverage, but it does a little bit, which is kind of, I have it on today, so I don't know how it transfers on camera, but that's where that is. Another powder product is my bronzer. It is the Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer in Golden Days. This is a glowy bronzer, a kind of a satin bronzer. I'm not sure if I'll insert a picture on the screen because to me it looks exactly the same, but nonetheless, here is where it is. It was extremely domed. I have two of these, and this is where it is now. It's beautiful. It has a kind of an orange finish, not too orange, but it does pull on the more orangier side. Have I anywhere left to swatch this? Now, we'll just put it here. I'm building it up just so I can show you. It's up the top there. That's how it is. I don't know if that looks orange in my hand. It's really buttery. It was $4.99 by Makeup Revolution, and I really enjoy it. So this was 64 grams the last time I weighed it for you guys on camera on the last update, and it's now 62 grams. So this has gone down 2 grams, and it was 13 grams to begin with. As in, like, the actual product itself is 13 grams. So I have a little elastic band on it right now to keep it still, the lid back on it, but you know, that drives people mental when stuff breaks off. But you know, I don't really care. I don't know why. Just things like that. Now, if this cost me a lot of money, I'd be kind of extremely frustrated because I have higher expectations. And I'm not saying that €5 is not a lot of money, because at the end of the day, it's 5 of your euros or your money. But it's just not as heartbreaking for me. The product itself, it's fine. The elastic does the job. It's not aesthetically pleasing of a packaging to begin with, nor is it the most important thing about a product in my mind. It's just a gateway drug of a thing when packaging is nice. But this is a product I'm actually going to roll out this time because I really love it, and I'm starting to not love it. It's not that I'm starting to dislike it, it's just that it's starting now to feel like a product that I'm panning rather than something I'm enjoying. And I don't want any more. I've been doing this for 3 years, not on YouTube, but I've been doing this on Instagram and in life for 3 years now. And I don't want it to become a burden anymore. I want it to be something I enjoy. And since it's refresh time, this is going back in my drawer to be pulled out at another time, which it will because I like it. This next product that I have here is a lip gloss, and I rolled this in the last time. It's 10 mils and it was by Avon. And Read My Lips in the shade Angel. I don't know if you can see here, but I'm nearly finished this. This mustn't have been full when I started it. Stores it. Can you see in here at all? I just pushed the air bubble out. But all that's in this is like what's up at the top and what's on the wand. So I imagine, don't hold me to it, but I imagine I'll have whatever is in this finished by the next update. So I'm working on, it's not this shade, but it's the Sleek Matte Me Ultra Smooth Lip Cream 6 mils, and it's actually the one that's in the shade Petal. This one's in Crushed Lavender. I just said I'd hold it up to show you what the packaging looks like. I left it on my desk in work, and you know, originally I was like, gosh, I really don't like the formula of this. It's drying up my lips like there's absolutely no tomorrow, and I'm not happy about that. Now, it's affordable and it's grand, but the positive thing about it was that when it was on your mouth, your lips, it was light, it was thin, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just really dry, and it actually wore off really nice. It didn't wear off as a hole in the middle or crust. I put this over it and it felt absolutely perfect. This lip gloss went over it, and for me it felt perfect. It wore off perfectly, didn't transfer all over my face or onto my teeth. And that was just, I didn't have to worry about it. It looked nice and it felt nice. I still don't think I'd get them again. I just don't want to, but it actually worked really much better than most lipsticks I actually have when I did it that way. I am here, I'm in the same place as I was. It's not enough to make a marking. It's Cosmetics CC Cream in the shade fair. At least the word fair stayed on. I bought this in February of this year, so February 2019, in Boots for 39 euros. You know, it was a bit of getting used to because I was so used to wearing a full coverage matte foundation. And this one is a kind of a medium coverage, a kind of a natural finish, not quite dewy, but more natural. And I absolutely, it's a medium to full coverage, but not quite full. And I absolutely love it. I have it on today. You know, I hate saying I have it on because I'm like, how good does this look? But it's more, it just feels so good. And in work, it doesn't like disappear on my chin and my nose and my forehead. It's just perfect. It is so worth the hype in my opinion, and I 100% will be getting it again. If you've seen my makeup inventory, you know that I want to only have 4 foundations in my collection, and this, like 2 in my normal shade and 2 in my fake tan shade, 1 in a lighter coverage and 1 in a more full coverage matte. So I have 1 of each hitting all the parks. This just has to be one of them because I really like it. So this product is what I'm using as an eye base. It is the, what is this? The Rimmel or Maybelline? Maybe it's Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Creamy Mattes in the shade Creme de Nude. It was 52 grams the last time and it's now 51 grams. I actually opened this on camera in front of you. I'd never used it. So here's where it is now. I think this is the first time you'll actually be able to see a dip. I just put this on my eyelids to prime my eyes and it does the job perfectly. A quick mention, but a mention nonetheless. The second last progress item is this Vaseline Healthy Hands and Stronger Nails cream. So there is 200 mils in this. I rolled this in the last time, which is a couple of weeks ago, and I went all the way down to here. This will be finished before the next update for sure. I'm not worried about it. You know, it says here, right? Blah, 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 blah. Non-greasy hand cream, and there's like a scale here, right? Of light up to high on, you know, how like, not great, but how much it moisturizes your hands. For some reason, I like the smell of it. For some reason, I put it on my hands and it's really like wet and liquidy at the time of rubbing it in. As soon as it's rubbed in, my hands feel rotten like sandpaper. And I handle an awful lot of paper in my work. And I can't turn the pages, I can't touch the pages because it feels like I'm scraping a blackboard. And like there's tissue. If I want to like clean up the desk and I go out and I get tissue, you know, just to kind of clear. It's like sandpaper trying to tear it for some reason. Oh, it's horrible. I don't know what that is or why that is, but it's almost worse, makes my hands worse when I put it on. For my Pan That palette, I've been panning the Makeup Revolution, the Matte Edit. So, it's just an all neutral palette. I said before and I'll say it again, I got it for Christmas just gone off Porrick. And on the screen you will see that I finished 2 eyeshadows. I had a pan up the middle top and that was the end of that situation. Well, if you can see now, the orange and the brown, I'm just putting a picture up I hope, the orange and the brown shade have significant enough dips in my opinion. And here is where we are now. Ooh. So this shade I have, in my opinion, extremely expanded the pan. This is the shade I actually use to set down my eyebrows. That's why it's a bit like that. And it's it's narrow for that bit and it's wider because I use it for crease as well. And I hit pan majorly and the bit that's left is extremely thin bar here. Here is quite high. For the products I'm rolling in, I'm gonna roll in another lip liner. So I'm rolling in this one called Yardley London in the shade Tudor Rose 04. I don't know if this is cruelty free, and that's the main reason why I want to use it, because most of my lip liners actually are, so it wouldn't take long to use those ones. I need to sharpen it. I just pulled it out and it appears to have broke, but it's pink. And I think that would actually go all right with the sleek one that I'm panning at the moment. Next is a perfume from Katy Perry called Mad Love. What does this smell like, I wonder? How many mils are in you? 30 mils! This is 30 mils as well. So I'm gonna bring it into work. Oh. Let that just settle for a minute. okay. It reminds me of the Britney Spears perfume in Fantasy, but not as nice as that one. It's just really sweet. I don't really like sweet scents, but it's really sweet. 30 mils, we're going to use it and use it up. So since I finished the cream bronzer and all the cream bronzers in the contour kit, I'm working through my creams. I do like cream bronzers. So I'm working now on the 17 one in, there's no particular shade because that was the only one they had. This no longer is for sale. I got it in Boots. This upset me because it's so similar to the Chanel one. Here it is, and it was really affordable. And this is actually my second one, and I finished one entirely before. But my heart is okay to use this now. It's accepted it. So I have it on today. Gosh, it's still lovely and creamy. Well, I know because I put it on my face, but you know when you feel it? There, it's in the middle there. It's just, I put it like, God, I must look like I got boxed. I put it on my skin before I put foundation on, and so it wouldn't be too like in your face, and it's just lovely. I'm rolling in something additional this time. So I got a big, huge, massive kit for Christmas last year off Perk. Makeup Revolution, but 36 powders in it. And obviously I can't carry 36 powders to work. So Pork 3D printed this little container for me, and with 3 little dividers. And I depot parts of that palette and pop it in there. So this little slot's empty. I'm rolling in this shade here. It's going to use it as a powder for setting underneath my eyes. I don't know, excuse me, if there's a point in swatching it, because I don't know if you'll see it. Oh no, you will. There it is there. So I'm hoping it will brighten. I have it on today, and if it was something that you could repurchase, I wouldn't. And only from today, which is not a good opinion for one time. It just seems to sit into my under eye wrinkles. In place of the bronzer that I'm rolling out, I am rolling in this. This is the Makeup Revolution Bronze Palette, and that's what I'm going to roll in. I was feeling guilty when I did my makeup inventory. I might as well link it since I'm on about it. My bronzers, my face complexion products were kind of out of control, and the main culprit of where those numbers accumulated from were face palettes. And the face palette drawer doesn't get as much love only when I'm at home and playing, because I actually love face palettes. I'm just so drawn to them, but I can't necessarily always bring them to work, and so I always end up rolling an individual product. So this time I'm pulling it out because I can't declutter it. I just can't do it. So I'm rolling this in. I don't know which one we're going to work on yet, because ultimately, like, next year I want to pan as much as this palette as I can. They're all bronzers. These 2 ones here say they have 2 grams, and these ones are saying that they're baked bronzers. So there's a mixture of matte and shimmers. So before I do that, these top 2, like, look at that, all these shades, beautiful. Now this one feels really creamy in a powdery way. This one I don't know what I'm going to do with. Look, what would I do with that, in your opinion? But I'm going to work on this, like, I'm going to work on a few of them at a time. Like, my goal is to finish the whole thing, but not by the end of the year. But I said I'll get a head start on it now. Anyway, here's what we're going to roll in. I'm excited. Excited! So that's my video, guys. It appears that this may be a relatively long one, and I apologize if it is. It depends on how excellent or how poor my editing skills are. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're doing it, if you're doing this video as well, please leave a comment down below, because I'm obsessed with project pans. It's pretty much exclusively what I watch on YouTube. That and declutters. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys the next time.